So rocking that cravat slash buff, but classy, yeah. Aero, no. You recording? Welcome to the GCN Show. It's been a big week in cycling, so here is all you need to know from the Tirreno-Adriatico, Paris-Nice and the Ronde van Drenthe.
Plus, we've got Aerogate, Snowgate, Spectatorgate, and all of our usual great features.
Yeah, and in the absence of Dan and Matt, we're also going to focus a little bit more on youth culture.
Not sure you count as young anymore, mate.
No, that's probably fair, actually. It's also Neil's birthday this week, and I'm not sure he counts as young either. Neil?
Happy birthday, Neil!
Oh, what's that? T-shirt. Oh, that was thoughtful. Thanks, fellas.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Neil. Comment below with your guesses about how old Neil is.
Oh, don't do that.
Guys, I love the shirt. Boulder, Colorado, cycling. It's totally me.
Last week, Domestique answered all your questions on Twitter. Although I did find out afterwards that he actually did the whole thing whilst wearing only his underpants.
Well, I think we've all had teammates like that in the past, so.
There we have. I think we've had exactly the same teammate that used to do things like that, Tom.
Good night.
Anyway, some of the questions that he answered were, which professional cyclist reminds you most of an animal? And the answer was Tony Martin and Giraffe. And then also, which was his favourite group set, which naturally was Mavic Mectronic from the early 90s.
Well, follow Domestique on Twitter, link in the description, which is below the like button, for more genius pearls of wisdom, like a picture of a dog wearing a cat as a hat.
That is genius, actually.
Yeah.
Nice work, Domestique. Caption of the week now. Last week we gave you this photo, and the winner is Bryce Morden with his, "Hey Marco, Canola borrow that wheel?" Nice.
Don't get it.
That's Marco Canola. See? So it's like a pun. Hey Marco,
okay.
Canola borrow that wheel?
Well done, Bryce.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Get in touch and we will send you your GCN swag. This week... Whoa, hang on. That is not the Caption photo. Oh my word, we did not need to see that again. No, anyway, the Caption photo is this one, which was actually taken from the same race as last week, but it's so good, we just had to put it in. It's taken by Jared Gruber, and the picture speaks for itself.
How are we going to do this without Dan?
Well, Dan has actually sent us a little something in. He said, "Hold the wheel."
Well done, Dan. That's funny.
Yeah, that is quite good, isn't it?
Despite falling in the shadow of the Tirreno-Adriatico for the last couple of years, at least in terms of the start list, the Paris-Nice rarely disappoints when it comes to great racing action, and this year was as good as ever.
Absolutely, particularly Saturday's epic stage in the very wet and cold mountains behind Nice. It was Tony Gallopin of Lotto Soudal who took the victory after soloing for 30k, and he obviously took the race lead as well. Biggest losers were Team Sky. Despite local knowledge, both Richie Porte and then Geraint Thomas crashed out of the chase group back down to the yellow jersey group of Michał Kwiatkowski.
It set up a cracking final stage with Porte overhauling Gallopin on the short uphill time trial on the Col d'Ez. The Col d'Ez has been the star of a number of GCN videos recently. Here's Dan Lloyd bossing it.
Absolutely. Oh, look at him. Magnificent. Look at that.
Wow, look at the power.
Absolutely.
Sure his hair looks immaculate underneath that helmet.
Back to Tony Gallopin for a moment. As well as doing an amazing ride that day, he also managed something very tricky. He was aerodynamic and yet still looked cool. Look at him. Aero bike, aero helmet, aero kit, still looking cool and not like a dork. It's aero chic. Let's call it aero chic.
You're right, it's hard to look aero and cool. Here's Richie Porte on the same day with that gilet flapping around. Not aero and not chic.
Meanwhile, coming straight out of left field, here is Tony Martin keeping toasty with a really strange bit of neckwear. It's not quite cravat, not quite buff. Is it aerodynamic? No. Is it chic? No.
We should really get a second opinion on this. If there's one man who knows about chic,
it's our American correspondent, Nile Rodgers. Freak out!
I can think of one rider who sort of circles the periphery with aero chic, and that's Katusha strongman Alexander Kristoff. Take a look at this photo of him winning stage 1 at Paris-Nice. Even with a slightly crooked aero helmet, he looks both fast and fashionable. But then fast forward to stage 4, throw in a mismatched long sleeve green jersey and a headscarf, and, well, he looks like a homeless person. On to Tirreno-Adriatico. Stage 5 was the day everybody was looking forward to, with the 15-kilometer climb to the summit of the Terminillo. And epic weather made the final that much more memorable. Nairo Quintana shook off his rivals and forged on through increasingly snowy conditions to take a solo victory, 41 seconds ahead of Balcamolema and nearly a minute in front of Grand Tour stars like Joaquim Rodriguez, Alberto Contador, and Rigoberto Urán. Quintana headed into the final stage, just a short time trial, with a handy 39-second lead on GC. There was a lot of discussion about the conditions on that stage. Personally, I didn't think it was such a big deal. It was a summit finish. Yes, it was snowing. Team campers 500 meters past the finish line. If it was a descent, sure, another story. Nobody wants to be descending in snow. I'm 100% for rider safety, but when you have the buses there, it's all uphill, there's no likelihood of a crash. I don't see the problem, and I don't really think there was much the race organizers could have done about it. In fact, I actually think Monday's sprint finish in the pouring rain was probably more dangerous. Sai, Tom, what do you guys think?
I see where you're coming from, Neil. I agree that sport is entertainment and therefore needs to be entertaining, but I think that there needs to be a line drawn in the sand somewhere, or perhaps the snow, so that the riders don't get essentially abused for the sake of our entertainment. You know, we have to respect them, they have a job to do, and we're going to ask them to do that job week in, week out, and therefore when conditions are dangerous or too disgusting, I think maybe we need to save them from that. But I don't know, I see both sides. Tom?
Yeah, I see both sides. I think there does need to be a limit, but at the same time, the racing in the snow and in bad conditions is so spectacular that we don't want to lose it altogether.
No.
Tough one.
In this day and age, we probably just add snow in as an after effect, so that the riders don't have to put in snow, but it looks epic.
Yeah, that's how the GCN show looks epic every week.
We've taken acting to a whole new level there, mate.
Way down.
Vorsprung durch Technik.
Tech of the week this week is in stark contrast to last week's from the North American handmade bike show. German car manufacturer Audi have collaborated with Lightweight to produce the Audi Sport racing bike.
Can I say I'm a little bit disappointed by this bike?
Yeah, if you want.
I was genuinely hoping that given the calibre of both manufacturers involved, that we'd get something really innovative. But it's not even that lightweight either. I mean, it weighs 790 grams for the frame, and which is good, but there's an awful lot of bikes out there you can buy off the shelf that are in fact lighter.
No, but it does cost nearly $20,000, so it at least tells people that you've got loads of money.
Absolutely. Buy this bike and you'll have to buy every coffee every time you stop for a coffee shop.
Paint looks good though. That's been done by Audi.
Oh, nice. And they recovered the saddle apparently as well, so there you go.
Is it car seat material?
It is, yeah. Innovation. Right there.
Belgian champion Jolien D'Or gave herself a fantastic birthday present by winning the Ronde van Drenthe, the opening round of the Women's World Cup. Her Wiggle Honda teammate Chloe Hosking did an excellent job of bringing it all back together and stringing the field out after what had been a very animated race came together in the final few kilometres.
Yeah, but just 2 days before, the Drenthe 8 race made headlines for all the wrong reasons. Rider Lauren Rowney had her handlebars taken away from her in the sprint finish by a spectator that had his hands hanging over the barriers. Now, opinions are split as to whether he did or did not do it on purpose, but the video footage certainly looks pretty incriminating. I'd prefer to think that he didn't do it on purpose, but either way, it's absolutely brutal.
Yeah, really, really horrible. Best wishes to Lauren for a speedy recovery. She's had to have her collarbone plated and will unfortunately miss some of her target races for the season, but recovery times are sometimes speedy and hopefully she can bring it back together for some races later in the year.
Undoubtedly she will.
The 8-stage Tour de Langkawi turned into a showdown between two sprinters. Astana's Andrea Guardini won 4 stages, while young Australian Caleb Ewan won 2. Guardini now has an incredible 18 Langkawi stage wins to his name. The overall was won by MTN Quebec's Youssef Regigi, apologies on the pronunciation, who took the uphill finish on stage 7, securing the GC ahead of Valerio Agnoli of Astana and Team Sky's Sebastian Henao. But for me, Balcamolema of Trek Factory Racing was the biggest surprise of the week. riding his way to a sure podium finish as best of the rest on the Terminilo. Biggest disappointment of the week was Tom Bowens' crash on the opening stage of Paris-Nice. Tornado Tom separated his shoulder and fractured his elbow, meaning he will miss the Tour of Flanders and Paris-Roubaix, the third time in 5 seasons we won't see Bowens in the velodrome at Roubaix. I think everyone was looking forward to one more battle on the cobblestones between Bowens and Cancellara, like we saw most memorably at the 2010 Tour of Flanders when both men were in their national champions jerseys. But time is running out for both riders. It may never happen again, and that's disappointing.
Comment of the week now, and surprisingly our video on the top 10 beards in pro cycling has been a source of genius comments. I particularly like this one from Alex Hutchinson, who said, "Being unable to grow a stylish beard, I feel like I'm missing out on an important part of the cycling experience." Don't we all, Alex?
Yeah, don't worry, Alex. I personally still like cycling. This one from Alberto QBS I thought was really cool. Dan Craven from Team Europe Car. He has the longest, nicest beard in the whole peloton. If I become a pro cyclist, I will have a beard. Maybe not as long, but of that caliber. I am only 13 years old. I like the way you're thinking. Thinking big, Alberto. Go for it, mate. Coming up on the channel this week on Wednesday, here are a few tips to help you ride longer without spending longer on your bike. Thursday, we've got the top 10 riders to watch at Milan-San Remo. And then on Friday it says here.
And of course, pain. Oh, that one hurt.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got a special surprise in store on Friday. I don't want to give away too much. You'll have to check back for that. I will say pain was involved.
And on Saturday, if you can bear to look at a screen, we've got Yanni Brakovic's Willia team bike. On Sunday, it's kind of like the top 10 of top 10s for Off the Back, which was Neil's idea.
It was Neil's idea.
Well done. And on Monday, we're going to show you how to choose your gear ratios.
If we take a 50-tooth chainring and combine it with an 11-tooth on the back, we're going to be travelling forward 9.6 metres for one complete revolution of the pedals on a normal size road wheel.
Tweet of the week now, and my favourite one this week was from our friend Vicente Reynas, who owns one of the nicest cafes in Mallorca.
Before leaving the bar, really important, before going up to the climb, you have an extra shot.
And he said this from the Paris-Nice. "My God, today's stage of Paris-Nice was so cold and hard that I had to piss on my pens 2 times to stay warm."
Any idea what pens are? What are you?
No.
Okay. Oh well, maybe that should be another. Leave your suggestions in the comment section down below. Anyway, I quite want to hear Neil's tweet of the week this week.
Neil,
tweet of the week.
Niall?
Yeah, my tweet of the week comes from Lotto Soudal's Adam Hansen, who crashed at Paris-Nice. "Kiss the ground today. Sex life is gone for a week. Hashtag, yes, I should wear gloves. Hashtag, no, I didn't. Hashtag, left hand is not the same."
That's a bit disgusting, actually, that one.
Not chic.
That's not chic.
If you were concerned that Extreme Corner this week was going to be Neil's wax and shave video, don't worry, it's not extremely disgusting. It is in fact extremely cool.
Yeah, this is Bernard Kerr doing something indescribable with a beer bottle. No, hang on, no, that sounds all kinds of wrong. Just watch it and see. It's really cool.
Endless summers here. The endless summers here. Relax. The endless summers here.
Tell you what, that is seriously impressive. Now, next week's GCN show is not coming from this sofa. It's coming live, not live, and direct from California, and I personally cannot wait. But in the meantime, if you need to see a bit more sun, why not click up there and check out our How to Train for Long Climbs video. Or if you click down there, then you'll get through to our previously mentioned top 10 cyclist beards. And then finally, you really should subscribe to GCN for such great quality moments as this. You look like a right in that, mate.